All right, so I'm going to try to make a RTV silicone roto mold here. I haven't really messed with this mold at all since 3D printing it, so it's got some imperfections, so it's gonna come out messed up, but maybe I'll clean it up afterwards, see what it looks like the first time. But I didn't wanna mess with it at all after coming out of the printer, just so I could have some kind of standardized way of coming back and looking at this when I move forward. But I made a mold release that I'm gonna put on first. This is made out of a little bit of Vaseline, a little bit of shea butter, PEG40, and some isopropyl myristate. And so I'll spread this on, try to get it a nice even coat. And then I'm gonna weigh out about, I don't know, maybe 20 grams of RTV to fill this thing up with on this side that has the name in it. So hopefully I can get some of that name actually in there. I probably didn't make the letters big enough for the RTV, but you live and you learn. I'm gonna go ahead and use pins and screws for this one as well, because I was spending some time on coming up with a clamping way and saving a little bit more material and here and there, but honestly this is a first go, so I'm not super worried about it. I really just want to be able to fill the mold up completely, make it hollow on the inside, and try to reduce leakage as much as I can, but I think that's good enough. So I'm gonna go ahead and start mixing the silicone, and I may spray this out and wipe it out real quick. No pause button, okay. All right, I thought I would have a pause button available to me, but I do not, so I'll try to hurry. Go with, well, I'm gonna let that dry out. I don't know what the alcohol will do to the silicone, because I don't know anything about silicone right now. But I imagine it won't make it set up too much since we have tested out a mold remover with it. All right, here we go. I'm going to pause the video and turn my scale on. Okay, our scale has power, and we are gonna go ahead and start pouring. I'm gonna do 12 grams each. Probably should have used a smaller container, to be honest, which I have. All right, we're gonna do 11.92 grams each. Pretty damn close. All right, so I'm gonna try to stir this very fast and pour it in while it's thin. Last time I did this, I shaked up the bottles and it caused a whole bunch of air that I couldn't get out. But I imagine just stirring it alone is going to produce quite a bit of air. So I haven't actually read any instructions for this shit online. I think you're supposed to mix it for 5 minutes and then let it sit for a little bit before you pour it in. So honestly, we're just gonna try to mix it as best as we can and pour it in. It can sit in the mold while it rotates. All right, so I'm gonna finish mixing this for a little bit and pause the video, and then I'll pour it in. So I think we're good. I've been mixing for 5 minutes or so. I'm gonna go ahead and pour it in, and we'll go from there. So the heart itself in silicone, if it was 100% silicone, would weigh 55 grams. I figured I would put a little less than half of that to try a first round, which I'm at a little bit less than half of that right now. So we put our pins in, hopefully I don't spill. Put our pins in the right spot. I'm gonna have to turn this guy over. I didn't think about that. So hopefully it doesn't leak too much, right? I'm gonna have to put some tape on the outside. I mean, we are rotating this thing. So got our pins in there. So the next time I do injection molding, I'm gonna use a clamp, but I think these screws are gonna work out just fine for this right now. I'm gonna go ahead and tighten this one down. I saw a little bit of movement. So make sure it's at least as best as it can be sealed around the sides. I think we're good. So anyway, this is what it looks like, and this is what it will be doing in the machine. So I'll get that set up. All right, so I'm gonna try to just like tape this thing in here. I don't have any rubber bands. That's what I kind of wanted to hold it in. The next time I may make a mold that fits this particular thing a little better, but for the time being, this is gonna work. Oh, there's the tape. All right, so I'm gonna just, I guess, cut as many strips as I feel necessary before turning this on. And I've been playing with micro steps and speed to try to get something I like. Ever since I ran it really fast, I've had some skip steps. So I'm gonna have to figure something out there. But I don't know, it's a pretty cool gizmo so far. And it ought to allow me to do molds that are a little bigger than this and a little smaller than this if I make this clamp a little bit longer. But ultimately, if you wanted to do something like the size of a helmet or something larger, you would need to build a completely different size unit. Honestly, you'd probably do really well for yourself to make one of these out of wood. And so I don't think this is going to stay super secure the way that I'm doing it. So I might pivot and make a change off video while time allows, because that is a factor right now. If we want an even coating, because I've never done this before. I know nothing about rotational molding. I built this for fun. Originally, I started wanting to do injection molds for some of these softer pieces. I figured that heck, silicone takes quite a while to dry. I shouldn't need it, I shouldn't have as much mess, and I don't have to get as hot as a plastic like ASA or PLA or something like that. So why not give this a go? Let's turn it up a couple times to get a better angle for my tape here. So we definitely don't want this thing moving around too much. But I saw a lot of versions of this on YouTube. They used a belt, and I kept like wondering like why I couldn't just make one without a belt, because it's a small footprint, so theoretically you really don't need one. The belt kind of helps you with larger items, but since I'm making baby toys, those are about the size of your palm, which is about the size of the working space we have here. This is definitely not going to hold very well, but we'll see. I'm only using electrical tape because that's really all I fucking have. And I didn't really want to put holes in this mold to secure it down with my little mold holes that I put in the clamps, because I thought it would take too long. But honestly, it would have been a little bit faster to use my power drill and screwed those down. So I think that might be my path forward, to be honest, for securing in the clamp. Is just having some screws that mount into the block and making the mold sized appropriately for that. I'm gonna turn it over. I think that looks, it's good enough to start. I don't know that it's great, but I'm gonna get one more in there. So some of y'all mentioned the frame. I made that with just a really simple tool, an arm shape. It's free, I didn't make it. Yeah, it's no rocket science there. The Voronoi or Voronoi feature, I believe is what it's called. All right, so I'm gonna plug this guy in. I just played with the code, so I may have to mess with something before it actually does anything worthwhile. Plug that in. All right, so I am just going to start it and we'll see what happens. Well, it's pretty slow. I'll turn it up a little bit. See, it's got some hiccups in there. You can see it catches a little bit from the backlash. But otherwise, it's spinning the weight just fine. I'm probably at max speed. I am. But I'm gonna let it rotate like this as long as I can. It's set to go off after 15 minutes with my little very simple user interface. So I'll let you guys know what it looks like at the end. It's been spinning for about 25 minutes now. I just wanted to show you guys like up close some of the backlash that you actually get from using gears like this. So I think I'm actually going to scale this middle gear instead of upping the number of teeth or moving it on the frame or anything. Just scale that gear just to make it a 0.5 millimeter bigger in diameter to eat up some of that slack and see if that does the job, or maybe it's a friction thing. I don't know, but we're gonna have to play with it because the more it spins, the more it catches, right? So there's definitely some refinement to do within this thing. But I'm gonna let it spin for like a full 45 minutes or until this silicone in the glass is finished curing, and maybe a little bit more after that, and then we'll see what happens. All right, so this thing's been spinning, albeit a little janky here or there, for almost an hour now. So I'm gonna go ahead and take it out because the silicone in the jar that we mixed it in is dry. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop this thing, and we'll take it out. I'll put you guys on a stand so we can see. All right, so the tape held. To my amazement, my surprise. So I'm just gonna take the screws out of this thing and let's take a look. Pretty excited. So we tried making it a heart, but it's not a beautiful heart. I probably should try making one in Blender next time, but here's for the reveal. Let's see if it's hard. It was pretty hard to take off. So you gotta take these out far enough. Should be out far enough. I probably should put a little lip in it so that I could actually pry this thing apart. But I'm gonna go ahead and just try to wedge it. Yeah. There we go. All right, took a little muscles. Oh, I probably should have let it keep going. That looked like it might have been a little... All right, so this did not rotate smoothly. We are gonna have to come up with a better algorithm or less silicone or something. It's kind of cool, but it's super uneven. So definitely gonna have to do some work on this. It looks like all of it kind of forced its way to one side of the heart. Maybe that was because of the way I had it centered in the mold or something. Maybe it was spinning too fast. Maybe it was spinning too slow. I don't know. So we'll have to kind of just play with it and see. But this is not something I'll be giving to my daughter. You can tell that it kind of has some tears in it. And this is a choking hazard for sure. But nothing leaked. I think we need a lot more silicone as well as a better rotation. So I'm probably going to do some research on the spin rates and how the spin rate and maybe the spin rate of each individual axis and how that kind of relates to where the silicone wants to pool, because this is not the results that I was looking for. But I'm impressed. The letters came out. The letters did come out, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, I don't know. We'll try this a couple more times.